dry cider. Should we have that one first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. There we go. There's two of those. Would you like to tell us about this?
Sure. So that's juice from Cider Hill Farms in Amesbury from last year. It was fermented with Vintner's Harvest SM9, which is a yeast I hadn't used before.
And what kind of yeast is
It's
it?
supposed to be a neutral wine yeast, relatively low attenuation. It came out a little sweet and reasonably carbonated. I didn't do much special to it. It's a mostly dessert apple blend.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, different.
That's really good. Yeah. There's vanilla.
Was it vanilla? You didn't add vanilla?
I didn't add any spice.
Oh, it smelled like vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
My own.
Or cream soda.
Yeah.
totally.
We got a cream soda aroma on it.
Yeah.
First I thought it was almost like a soda. No, this is delicious.
Came out very sparkling.
Whoa, wait a minute. And we're thinking creatively, like with the pork. How about a scoop of vanilla ice cream? Right, in this? Yeah.
You make yourself a cider float.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We could parade that down Main Street on Cider Day and have all of us falling off it. Or wait, maybe not.
You didn't have vanilla.
Oh, yeah, nice here.
All right, so can you tell us about this sizer?
All right, so that's the that is the same juice as the previous one.
Okay, can we hear that?
Same juice as the one you're drinking now, with 8, but made into a sizer with 8 pounds of honey in 5 gallons, and fermented with White Lab's 720 sweet mead yeast.
Okay. So here again is
Fermented
what
dry.
here again is what you can do. You can start with one cider, one juice, split it up, and add either different yeasts or different adjuncts, and make totally different beverages.
First one was Vintner's Harvest.
I still get a vanilla nose to it.
Yeah. Okay, we still get a vanilla nose and a vanilla taste, which, all things being equal or unequal, would mean that that's probably the juice, since you use different yeast and different adjuncts.
Yep.
Interesting. Yep. Can't tell many jokes. Not coherently.
All right, this is over.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's a little hot, but not bad. What do you think the alcohol? What do you think the alcohol percentages is?
Too much for you.
I had to sort of guess at that a little bit because I added the honey in a few stages, so I never got a complete initial gravity reading. But I'm thinking in the 9-10 range.
Yeah, we figured hotter than that, more like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Is that, where's the, we have the third size, the third bottle?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Oh, did you say this went dry? This went all the way dry?
I believe
No,
so.
you know,
Tastes like it's
Let me get my number.
to keep the dry ones filled.
A lot of times with honey is a very complex sugar, and depending upon the yeast, it won't ferment all the sugars out of it.
Yeah, it when I bottled it, it was measured at like 0.997. Oh, really? Yeah.
No, that was in both of his.
More so first.
Yes, but it was still in the second.
Oh, one other random note is that this was, when I primed it for bottling, I used a concentrate made from the same Pine Hill Redfield juice that people have been talking about. So instead of straight sugar. Forgot about that. Unfortunately, Juniper doesn't tell me what it was.
How about the, yeah, whatever's in that yellow?
And that's also mine.
This,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we have these bottles. It's a 4-pack with the yellow.
And that's my last one.
All right.
All right, so this is ice cider. This is from Pine Hill, last year's upstairs 800, the Baldwin-ish blend. This one came out a little funny. It concentrated to 1/130 before I started fermenting it, but only fermented down to 1068, which is a little unusual. Usually they go further than that, and so I'm not sure what slowed it down exactly. Maybe lack of nutrients. So it's got a little sorbate in it to keep it from being a bottle bomb.
Thank you.
But other than that, it should be about 8.5%, given that range. And that's again with the White Labs Sweet Mead Yeast 720. Look.
See, now I don't get any vanilla in this one.
Yeah, that's Pine Hill juice, different juice.
Okay. Okay, this is different juice. And first thing Steve said, I don't get any vanilla. So,
Yeah.
who knows what was in there? Not unpleasant. Wow. Wow. That's a mouthful of cider right there. And that, it's like concentrated apple.
That's the idea.
Yep.
It's almost like an ice cider.
Well, it is nice cider.
I didn't get that when I was listening to
What
it.
else would it be, Almost seems like a golden delicious nose.
Keep that under here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Nice job with that.
Thank you.
Are we into?
No, I froze the juice. I don't have an orchard or anything, but I have a Chester reserve. So I use beer bottling buckets. So I just use like 5 or 6 gallons at a time.
Al, there's more, a half bottle more here. Al. Okay.
All right, we've got a couple more here and then some more dessert things. So, some pugs, 2 of them with New England 15 on the cap. Jim.
that's Pine Hill from 2015. That's my sort of like a New England style. They just brought the gravity out with their 5 gallons. We found the honey, 2 pounds of raw sugar, and probably B47 in it. And then I finished it off with French oak cubes, soaked bourbon. And last year I used 8 ounces of bourbon and 8 ounces of oak. And this year I cut it back to, well, in 15, this bottle I cut it back to 3 ounces of each. So the cider tends to actually come through a little bit better in this one.
Well, you can still smell the oak on the nose. It's pleasant.
Yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah, you want to get the oak and then
Yep.
the bourbon, but not overrun the sort of apple.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's-
pretty high alcohol.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. Comment on that so people can hear you there, Charles.
All I said was very, very nice, balanced, what would you call this, an aperitif?
Yeah,
With the pork dinner we were talking
you
about,
want the
right?
pork dinner we were talking about. This is something you could drink almost, you know, like a dry sherry. That's what it reminds me of. It's got all those nice. This is almost like a dry sherry. I would have this instead of a dry sherry before dinner. It's very nice. It has a warm, kind of almost nutty taste and mouthfeel to it due to the oak and the bourbon. This is pretty good stuff. I think you'll like it.
Wow, I thought on that one.
Yeah. Nice, huh? Wow.
Try that.
Yeah, we should. You can slowly catch up. I notice we've gotten to the exciting point where our esteemed pours are pouring on the way up and then pouring on the way back.
You know the popular ones, people know.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Mr. Wallace's.
Yeah, these are Mr. Wallace's.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on here.
Let's see, we have one, with this, 3 left. 1, 2, 3. We'll do that first, and then that, and then the strawberry.
Blueberry.
Huh? Oh, yeah, those.
What about these here?
The single one.
Yeah.
Are they the same thing?
No,
Are these yours?
one of them is.
Yeah, these are. As you've tasted, we haven't had a stinker yet. We've had some that could use a little improvement, some that were a little dry, but they've all been very well made, some really good. When we started this, I don't know how many years ago, this was the bad cider session, where people would bring in their bad ciders, and we would comment and see what we could do to improve them. I think you've noticed at the salon too, the commercial producers, those in previous years whose cider was not good, they're not here anymore, or they've improved, and we've found that the ciders that folks are making have been very good. I was at my friends from Harvard, their cider group, and I think that this was last weekend. I think there were 21 or 22 or 24 bottles, different bottles on the table, and they were all very good. So, students, you've listened, and congratulations. And to drink good cider on a Sunday morning after Saturday night, instead of bad cider on a Sunday morning after Saturday night, helps us a lot. So thank you very much, and thank you for keeping copious notes. Yes. All right, next.
That first year that we had that, it was really rough driving home.
The organic acids in your brain and all that.
Oh, yeah, no, it was not
Would you
good.
like to talk about this cider?
Sure. It's from Round Hill Orchard, through a Camden tablet. It's my first 5-gallon batch.
Wait a minute.
I used D47. I put honey in it.
Second
secondary fermentation. We'll let her run out the room.
We're gonna have a little less than we thought we were.
As I was saying, we had almost perfect attendance.
Yeah, you got some in your class.
And it's still good.
And then I put Carr's cider syrup at the bottom of it.
Tell cars it's powerful stuff. Well, yes.
When you bottled this, had it stopped fermenting?
It's been a long time. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you add priming sugar to it?
I added the cider syrup
Ah, there you go.
as the priming.
Hard to count.
Another rookie mistake.
Now, this is another issue that we had. We had this earlier on today. Be very careful if you overcarbonate. It happens to all of us. It happened to me one time where I was so happy that my first cider had come out really good that I drank way too much of it and couldn't quite remember if I had added priming sugar or not. So to be on the safe side, I added it again. And a couple weeks later, there was a very familiar smell from down cellar. It was fermenting cider that was actually exploding cider. So figure out, I mean, otherwise this is delicious, but you don't want to lose half of it on your friends. So measure your priming sugar. 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of equivalent sugar per 5 gallons is not a lot. But no, it tastes good. So just what I would do is if you want to add the cider, you add in cider syrup.
Yeah.
I would add that to your primary fermentation, maybe get the taste,
Right.
and then just add priming sugar at the end to carbonate it. Because that little bit of sugar is not going to add much taste to your cider. But otherwise, yeah, it was good.
We now have controlling interest in the Irving paper mill.
You know, I haven't used this technique in a long time, but diabetics use urine test strips that measure the amount of glucose in their urine. And I think, if I remember correctly, if you use a test strip on your batch or whatever you're going to bottle to see if all the sugar's been used up, I think if you have less than 0.5% of sugar, it's considered being all fermented out. And it's whatever sugar you're going to add is just for carbonation. That's a good scientific way of doing it, and I think it comes 50 strips in a little tube. But don't quote me on the 0.5%. It's 0.5% or 1/4% that you test to, and that is considered flat, and you can add all the sugar you want to make carbonation.
Otherwise, you're all right.
What are the tasting notes though? Because I think it's gross.
Why? What don't you like about it?
It's too dry.
Okay, it's not gross. Gross is it tastes bad. Gross means the lady that made this doesn't like it. She thinks it's gross because it's too dry. No, it's clean. The yeast did what it's supposed to do. There's no off flavors. There's no off taste. It is too dry. I would use another kind of yeast that doesn't eat all that sugar.
But that's what D47 was supposed to
That's
do.
what D47 is supposed to do. It's not as dry as you think.
You don't feel like you're losing the enamel.
What would you do? Use a sweet mead yeast or put honey into it as one of the...
I did.
You did. Add honey.
Maybe an option.
Cote de Blanc may be an option?
Chill shot, yeah, before it's fermented.
It
Let's
was
see.
in the basement. I don't know.
So you did everything right, but it's still too dry for your taste.
Yeah.
You could back sweeten it and keep it very cold, or you could filter it. You could filter it to get the yeast out and sweeten it. You did everything right.
You can keep a bottle of simple syrup around and just sweeten it as you serve it.
Yes, you
I
can.
put ginger beer in it.
You put ginger bear in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
that
could
works.
also, before you bottle it, you could back sweeten it, and you could add a little bit of sulfite to it, SO2 to it.
What does that do to it?
That it kills any of the yeast.
But
Yeah, enough of it, it does.
attention.
And the other thing you can do, which I've tried, and it works pretty well, is you can add a little bit of Splenda to it, because it's non-nutritive, the yeast won't touch it.
Or any other sweetener of that kind, and it does work.
Xylitol we had earlier.
Yep. All right, we have 2 bottles of Gold Cap cider. One has an 11 on it. Or, yes, sir. All right, we're making our way to the front.
Hello, hello, hello.
Here's the mic.
Very smart.
Are you speaking on behalf of the cider maker there?
Yes. Indeed.
My name's Brandon. This is my daughter, Ren. She was about 4 months old last year when we did this cider, which was our first batch. Hudson Valley, Catskills area, upstate New York. Need more volume? Sorry. Sounds weird. Sounds weird to me. Upstate New York, we live in the city, we live in New York City, we live in Brooklyn, but my wife's family is in Orange County, upstate New York, and that's where we make the cider, and that's where we branched out and forward to the apples. Orange County, Sullivan County, Delaware, Catskills, a little bit east of the Hudson, Poughkeepsie area. There's a whole bunch of different apples, some tiny crab apples, some old abandoned orchard trees, no commercial fruit, it's just all foraged and gleaned, some suburban trees. And it was all wild fermented, and nothing added, and all fermented in glass.
Yep.
That's it.
It's nice, very nice.
Yep, this is very, you can taste all the old, you can taste the crab apples in it. This obviously has a lot of flavor in it. It's very typical New England cider, where there's just a wild yeast fermentation. Well, it's made in New York, upstate. That's part of New England. Anything that's still Red Sox country is New England. So no, this is good, clean, flavorful New England cider. They've been making it up here for a long time.
Good work, rookie.
Yeah. All right.
2 are blueberry and 2 are not.
Oh, there are 2.
They're gems.
This one?
It's right there.
ISO. All right, we have 2 ice ciders here. One is a ice cider. One is a cider blue.
No. You have one ice. You have an ice cider, and you have a blueberry apple blend.
All right,
Okay?
I stand corrected. So should we have the cider, ice cider, or the blueberry blend first?
Do the blueberry blend first.
Good.
That's this one here.
That's the blueberry blend.
Yes, it is.
It's a dark one.
Want me to talk about that one?
I would love for you to talk about this one.
Let's see, that one started out as a, again, a lot of sugars added, both honey and raw sugar. Did probably 347 in that one. Fermented very cold for the cider. I fermented the cider separately. And then I did a local blueberry wine from the local shop on Burnt Hill. And I blended, in the end, once they were finished, I blended them about 20% blueberry, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some of the tannins from the blueberry, because blueberry wine tends to be very tannic.
Yep.
A little bit of the flavor, but not enough to override the apple. So you're gonna have probably about Probably about 10% alcohol on this. That's it.
The acid from the blueberry is pretty pronounced. But there's not a lot of blueberry forward flavor in it.
Another difficulty is you're not getting much blueberry aroma. For
No.
some reason, it doesn't survive the process well at all.
No.
But it's a nicely blended, it's well balanced.
Yep. It's pleasant to drink. It's got a nice dry finish along with the acid.
I love its color.
Yeah, beautiful color.
Yeah.
This other one, we're gonna start at the back.
Aren't these both the same?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about these ice ciders, Jim?
Now, before you do that, we're gonna start at the back of the room, because I don't know if we had enough blueberry. We're gonna start at the back and move forward. I'm actually going home with this one.
He's just walking out.
Yeah, this is
Freeze it cold to about 20 degrees, one big block of ice. Take it out of the chest freezer, open the valve, bottom it,
That's a good one.
straight out. And then the more sugary liquid drain off. And then I ferment that. Sometimes I do a couple of
There's
rounds.
a lot of times I bet they say
I think this time I did 2 rounds. I
acidic.
drained it until I had, went from 12 gallons to 6.
But this one is nice for them.
Now I'm remembering I fermented just a gallon. Not put it in the freezer. And I'm thinking that, like the Applejack technique, like the alcohol will be free.
Yep.
I'm not true if it's not high enough. It has to be high enough.
The ethanol right in the freezer. I mean, I guess if you have too much ice, it'll get all locked up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you really want to be, okay.
Like it wasn't.
So it's very different when you freeze first versus
Right, sure.
freeze after you make it. It's effectively the same.
Yeah.
But unlike traditional, like, you're able to sort of throw away the heads and the tails.
Yes.
And when you're freezing the process, you're not throwing away any of that. You got all the heads and the tails. It's kind of like the Applejack's
So
rough stuff.
so what you did was
Concentrated the sugars and then fermented those.
okay. So you got this like 0 degrees.
Right, like I said, you started at gravity 1/130. Okay. 13% more dense than water.
And then you finished on that. And let that Here's Jim.
This one was slower than usual. Like I said, usually the usual thing is they go down and I have to stop them with some technique about like
They may be all you had.
before it gets dry. Because when they get all the way dry, it's a little nasty.
All right.
I gotta like stop them at 30 or 40. Now this one I did stop a bunch earlier than I expected.
All right.
When I do stop it, it's like
All right, we have some strawberry deliciousness here. Can somebody? Of course we do.
No.
We didn't talk about the ice.
This one, I add a medium dry malt in the fermentation, which gives it a caramel flavor. We call it a breakfast blend. And, so yes, to make it even healthier, I actually put some strawberries in there. So if you get strawberry in your glass, don't be afraid to eat it. It's only 30 minutes. So again, I fermented up to about 14%, then add the brandy that should bring it up to about 18%. So you'll never know the alcohol.
You'll never know the alcohol. That's what I told the police officer.
Yeah, usually
As this is being poured, we didn't talk about Jim's ice cider. One thing that Steve and I were saying up front here that you didn't hear is that it's so nicely balanced between the acidity and the deep flavor profile. It worked out very nicely, well balanced. Ice ciders, they're tricky. They take a lot of work, and you really can't judge it until it's done, and then you wonder where you could have done differently. This one is a nice one.
A lot of ice ciders
Yeah.
will be, they'll either be too sweet or too acidic, and the balance is off, and they're not that pleasant to drink a lot of. You can have a sip or two and it's okay. But this ice cider is very nice and very well balanced with the sweet and the acid and lots of apple flavor to it. It's really nice. What's the percentage of alcohol in this, Jim?
I figure I stopped at about 13%, but I started when I got my bricks up to like 40 bricks.
Whoa!
Wow.
Which is pretty demanding on the sugar, on the yeast. So you really start off with a really strong culture. Okay, you get 47 on. Yeah, I think I used to be 47 on this one here. These are pretty strong yeast, and I ranched it up pretty good with Gopher, with the nutrient, startup nutrient, and basically brought it down to about. I think I stopped at. I can't remember what the bricks was, but just about the point where it was going to be 13% alcohol, and then I really thrashed it.
Probably down around 24 on the bricks? Maybe even a little lower. Okay. Now, did you use a Pine Hill?
Yeah, it's a really good blend. As you can tell, there's a lot of canning apples in here. So, that's a good problem with cider is quite often it's very cloying. And, you almost have to have it with something acidic for dessert to make it work. But if you get a blend of apples that's got a lot of acid and a lot of tannin in it, basically, it's, as you concentrate all of that, it's going to blend that sweetness in.
Yeah, because you did a very good job with that balance. It was really, you did a very good job with the balance. It's excellent.
Yeah, well, I think Pine Hill deserved a lot of credit for getting those.
They usually do.
Yeah.
That's strawberry.
Late edition strawberry, too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice strawberry. It's good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, strawberry right away. Yeah.
We have two more bottles up here. This one and this one.
The one on that side is, there's only one of those, so you may want to try it.
Yeah, it's not really enough to go around.
Bring an eyedropper for it.
Yeah. And this one here.
Yeah, there's only one of those also, so if you like to open it, fine, otherwise it's.
Yeah, well, we could try it. It might be enough to go around. There's a lot of people here. I hate to run out. Yeah, we're going to pass on that because it's just not enough. Huh? We have the Applejack. There's 2 bottles. We could give people. Whose is this? The Applejack? Oh, okay.
It's the same as the one we made before.
Oh, that's right. You told us about that. Go ahead.
That's a gallon's worth of cider last week. We started out in 2 2-liter Coke bottles, and I just, every day, I froze it upside down, and then just let it drain off, and just kept freezing it every day, changing it over until it finally wouldn't freeze anymore, and that was this morning.
And we're all gonna drive away from here.
No open flames, please.
Have
So this is Cider Day Shine Nouveau.
We'll bring the bucket around after this.
Open flame.
That's what you smell. It's not horrible.
Ooh, well, we survived another Sunday session. Yeah. You have consumed at the largest hard cider festival in North America. I would say the finest selection of hard ciders you're ever going to find in the world at one tasting, right? Do we have any more questions, comments? If you'd like, what?
Questions, comments, criticisms, or concerns?
Questions, comments, criticisms, or concerns, you can ask your fellow cider makers questions outside because we've pretty much wrapped it up. And we will see you and taste your delicious ciders at Cider Day 23 next year. All right?
Barrel session after this, and of course, there's tastings going on at Historic Deerfield the rest of the afternoon.
Yep.